know that sometimes it can be difficult to get the nutrition that you need to get in, especially in the beginning of your GLP-1 journey. Sometimes you just do not feel like eating, and a lot of you seem to be unsure about what types of things you should reach for if you only have a little bit of room available in your stomach for food and nutrition. So that is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, GLP-1 snack ideas and why they are good GLP-1 snack ideas. First off, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brittany. I have lost 115 pounds in 3 years. My 3-year anniversary for GLP-1s is November 17th. So we are very quickly coming up on that, which I am just like in awe of, that it has been 3 years and that I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's just crazy to me. But here on my channel, I love to share different types of tips and tricks like this video, research, studies, statistics, things that I find, as well as my personal journey and experience, some of your personal journeys and experiences. We talk about it all here, and we're real and raw and open, and we share the truth. And so if that is something that may interest you, I would love to have you subscribe, stick around, hang out with us for a bit, or join the free community over on Facebook, which is always linked below. Now, to just start this off, overwhelmingly, the most asked question I get in terms of nutrition with a GLP-1 is what we should be eating when we just don't feel like we can eat a lot. Now, before I jump into this, I'm not a doctor. You guys know that. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm just a girl who loves to read, loves to research, loves to ask a question. My motto is, if you don't ask, you're never gonna get an answer. So you might as well ask the question. So I am that girl, and I share the information that I find with you guys, but please always talk to your healthcare professional before you make any changes to your health journey. Keep yourself safe, everybody. Okay, so when we talk about GLP-1 snack ideas, we're really referring to more than just a snack. Especially a snack in the way that we have typically thought of snacks our whole lives, right? Like a snack before GLP-1s was a handful of chips or a handful of goldfish if you're me, or something like that. Something that, you just need a little something in your stomach, you're having a craving, you grab some chips, okay? When we're talking about GLP-1 snacks, we have to be much, much more mindful of what nutritional value that GLP-1 snack contains, because nutrient density is so important on a GLP-1. You are very limited in the amount of calories that your body is going to be able to handle without feeling sick. And so we need to make sure that we're eating things that help fit into those nutrients that we need. Now, what I did, I created a list of snack ideas that supports blood sugar control, appetite, digestion, muscle retention, all of that on a GLP-1. And I've broken it down into 5 different categories of nutrients that we need to be focusing on. And I know, I'm gonna start with protein options, and everybody says that protein is king, but really, all of these things have to work together in order for you to be a nutrient, well-rounded nutritional person, right? So those nutrients are protein, fiber, healthy fat. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 4. Protein, fiber, healthy fats, and water. Is water a nutrient? I don't know, but you need it for everything in life, always. Okay, so starting with our protein options. The number 1 thing that I would recommend is Greek yogurt. Now, if you've been around, that's pretty much on my daily rotation of eating is Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt provides you with a higher level of protein value than just regular yogurt does. It's a lot thicker and more satisfying typically than normal yogurt. And you can dress it up to add some of these other nutrients in, like with berries for fiber, with some granola, chia seeds, flaxseed, hearts of palms is a good one. So there are so many things that you can add to yogurt to make it even better than it is by itself. Cottage cheese is another good one. A lot of people like to do cottage cheese and fruit. I hate cottage cheese. It's a texture thing for me, but it is a really good option. I remember when I was a kid, a little off topic here, but when I was a kid, we used to go to Shoney's. Who remembers Shoney's? Every week, actually. So we were, oh my gosh, this is a long story. We were building a house, and we would drive up and see the house every Wednesday, and then we would go to Shoney's as a family. And my sister used to get this big bowl of cottage cheese every single time and sit in front of me and eat it. And I hate cottage cheese. So you can try cottage cheese. That's not one that I will be eating. Hard-boiled eggs. Smoothies are great because you can do several things within a smoothie. So you can do Greek yogurt, you can do protein powders, you can do berries and stuff for fiber. You can add chia and flax into a smoothie. So you can add a lot of stuff into a smoothie. A smoothie is a really good choice. Tuna with either some celery sticks or crackers. Cheese sticks, meat sticks, like turkey sticks, are all great options as well. I would say that, you know, the science is sort of out, or the jury's still out on whether protein bars and protein powders and all of that are as sufficient as like quote unquote real food is. My motto is I would so much rather eat a cheese stick or something like that than a protein powder or whatever. But you do you, however you can get your protein in, get it in, okay? The next one we're gonna talk about are healthy fats. I think this one gets underplayed. Like, not as many people talk about why we need this in our diet. So a way that you can get this is avocado, obviously. Sliced avocado on a piece of whole wheat toast would be a great snack. You could do nuts. Nuts are also really good for protein. Now, again, that's something that I cannot do because I'm allergic to them all, but I do seeds. So I'll do sunflower seeds, which are pretty high in protein, and they also add healthy fats as well, sunflower seeds do. So, you know, nuts, almonds, cashews, walnuts, peanuts themselves are like not even really considered a true nut. I think they're a legume, but you know, peanut butter, whatever, PB2 powder in your smoothie, great option. And then cucumbers with cream cheese or with guac is another option. Cucumbers with guac would probably be better for the healthy fat aspect of things with that. Now, all of these snacks, I want to pause here and say that all of these snacks are things that you can do and prep for yourself so that you have them available when you need them. I mean, you can have little cups of Greek yogurt. Some people will make little parfaits that are super easy. You can get little parfait cups where you put, you know, the yogurt and the fruit in the bottom and then the granola on top, and you just flip it in there. They sell them in the store already made up for you. Cottage cheese, hard-boiled eggs, you can boil several and then have them for a few days. These are all things, I mean, nuts, again, you just buy a bag of almonds or whatever, and then you can eat a few when you're hungry. These are all things that you can eat in very small amounts, but will give you a nutrient boost, okay? So moving on to hydration options. Now, sometimes I 100% will choose a hydrating option over a protein option because, you know, again, we all focus so much on the protein that a lot of us are missing out on the hydration. And part of the GLP-1 that makes you, you know, of course, not want to eat as much, a lot of people also report that they don't want to drink as much. And so they're not drinking as much fluids throughout the day. That is something I definitely do. I've said before that I have to be very conscious of water. I keep a cup by my sink, and every time I walk in the kitchen, I put a little bit of water in there and drink it. It's the only way that I can keep ahead of it. Otherwise, I will get dehydrated. So sometimes what I'm saying is, sometimes it is better to choose a snack that's going to provide you some hydration over, you know, if you've had protein all day long, have a hydrating snack. So examples of that are cucumbers. Cucumbers are like 90% water, and they're delicious. I love a cucumber. Herbal teas are really good for this. Jello or popsicle. You could have some electrolytes, especially if you're nauseous. Having a pack of the Element or Liquid IV are both really good options. Sparkling water that you have infused or allowed like lemon or cucumber to soak in are really good options because you're gonna get the nutrients from the lemon and the cucumber, leave the skin on the cucumbers, and then you're also gonna get the hydration from the water. So hydration is crucial. I wasn't even gonna include it in this, but I'm like, every time that Brittany has a chance to talk about water, Brittany's gonna talk about water, right? And there's obviously a lot of other like fruits. We're gonna get to other options here. I have a couple other categories I'm gonna talk about, and we will touch more on that later. The last one is fiber. Again, I did a whole video on this about why fiber is so important, especially when you're alongside protein, especially like animal fat protein, meats. You need the fiber in order to break down all of the other protein. The protein is dense and hard to break down. The fiber will help it to break down, right? So you need stuff like raw veggies with hummus. That's a great option. High fiber crackers with either like some cheese, some light, like a Laughing Cow cheese, or some hummus is another good option. There are some really good high protein, or not high protein, high fiber, like whole wheat crackers available in the supermarket these days. So that's another really good option. The thing is, when you're looking at all of these different, I've just gave you 4 different categories of snacks that we should be touching on. It's important to note that you don't need to like over stress yourself about hitting every single one of these all the time, right? Like what I do personally, again, my personal thing here is I will, it's 11:15 currently as I'm filming this. Oh, I'm a little bit hungry. What have I had today? How much water have I had today? What am I going to be eating later, right? Like I just take a sort of inventory of my day and then pick a snack that fits into something that I'm lacking otherwise. Does that make sense? Okay, moving on. So I have 2 other little options that I want to talk about. One is for sensitive stomachs. A lot of us in the beginning of our journeys are very sensitive to literally anything we put in our mouth, right? So we either get nauseous, we end up being constipated, we're just not feeling that heavy. I used to explain it as like, I don't have it anymore, but I used to explain it as like a heavy ball feeling in my stomach. We have that, whatever. So I'm gonna give you some options if that is something that you are experiencing. So number 1 is some, saltine crackers. I'm pretty sure I lived on saltines for the first like 3 months of all of my pregnancies, and I'm still here and alive. So saltines are a good option. Bone broth is a fantastic option. Bone broth is very nutrient dense. Now, obviously this is not like vegan or vegetarian friendly, but bone broth has a ton of protein in it, like 6 to 12 grams per cup of bone broth, depending on the brand that you get. And it's just like, you're gonna get some hydration from it. You're gonna very good boost of nutrients, especially when you can't eat anything else. It used to be like eat soup when you're sick, and now it's like you need a good cup of bone broth, a good heated teacup of bone broth or whatever. Bananas and oranges are also really good options. Bananas have always been like a sick diet, the brat diet type of option. Again, they are very nutrient dense. They are a little carb and sugar heavy. So if that is something that you're worried about, maybe not bananas, but oranges are a good option for all of the above. So oranges offer really good fiber content, hydration, and they are typically pretty easy to digest and easy on the stomach. And then finally, unsweetened applesauce. I mean, all the research that I did said unsweetened, but like if I'm gonna be real here, if I'm eating applesauce, it's probably gonna be like cinnamon applesauce, but you do you. Okay, moving on. The final little thing is that I wanted to mention several of these that are really good options because they check several of the boxes of several different categories. So these would be like perfect snack ideas, right? Where all the other ones are like pick and choose here and there, put some together, figure it out. These are like, they're perfect, okay? Number 1 is that bone broth. It hits the hydration, the sensitive stomach, and the protein level. Again, 6 to 12 grams of protein, depending on the brand that you choose, per cup of bone broth. There's this girl that I used to follow on TikTok. I cannot remember her name, but she was a model. I'm sure someone's gonna remember this. And she ate this like very high fat, meat focused diet. And she was like healing herself from past like eating disorders and stuff. But anyway, she would drink a big cup of bone broth every day, and people in the comments would like, it was either they were like so against it or so for it. And she would also stir like tablespoons of butter into it and melt it into it and just like drink it. It was crazy. And she bought all this like grass-fed stuff from these Amish people. Anyway, all that to say, bone broth is really good. Oranges, again, we just touched on this. Fiber, hydration, sensitive stomach. That's a perfect snack. Grab you a few cuties. They are in mandarins. They're in stock right now, or in stock. They're always in stock. They're in season right now. Mandarins and apples are both very good right now. They're at their peak, so go buy you some mandarins. Some people will eat like 4 of them. I mean, they're like 50 calories a pop, right? So it just depends on how much you can get into your body. Bananas with peanut butter. So that's gonna, or better yet, like almond butter. That's gonna provide you the potassium and the carbs and the sugar from the banana. Again, if you're like not a diabetic. And then the protein from whatever nut butter you choose to use. So again, protein, sensitive stomach, healthy fats. We're checking several boxes at once. And the final one is raw veggies with hummus. I'm not a hummus eater. The only hummus that I've ever enjoyed was actually a chocolate hummus that Aldi used to sell. I don't even know if they still do sell it, but I used to eat it like years ago with pretzels. I would get this like chocolate hummus. But anyway, raw veggies with hummus, you're gonna touch on fiber, protein, healthy fats. So hummus actually has healthy fats from the tahini that is in the hummus. So again, you're checking several options. So those four, and I'm sure if you just spent, any small amount of time looking at this list, I'm sure you could come up with several other little combinations of things. Another one that I should have put on this category is smoothies. Again, most people add water or milk or something to their smoothie. So you're getting hydration, you're getting protein, you're getting fiber from your berries and your fruit that you're adding. You can add extra fiber with flaxseed or chia seeds. You can take a smoothie and make it the most perfect snack ever. And it's not even like you're chewing something heavy, you're drinking it. You can add protein powder to it and make it even more protein packed. So that should have been one that I mentioned there as well. And yeah, I mean, if you have any other perfect snack ideas, please leave them down below. We can all help each other out and get going. Even 3 years into this, I am still somebody that most often eats several small meals throughout the day instead of like large meals. If you've watched my what I eat in a days, you know that I eat a lot of like yogurt bowls. So that'll be like my main thing. And it's not a huge yogurt bowl around lunchtime. And then I might have, a cheese stick or something in the afternoon. And then I'll eat whatever dinner my family's having. I don't make special meals, but I don't eat large portions of it. So having some snack ideas in my arsenal could help me as well. So be sure to leave any other ideas that you have down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up, and stay tuned for more 3-year anniversary content coming. I have a Q&A coming. I have like a weight loss recap video coming. I'm really excited about this milestone. I have never gotten to a point where in my life, which I know a lot of you can relate to this, where 3 years in, I'm still a healthy weight. I'm still doing the thing. You know what I mean? Like, this is a huge thing for me. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.